There are 8 skills you need to learn if you want to make a lot of money. Hi, my name is Craig Ballantyne. I'm the host of Early to Rise Radio, and I make these videos so that you can get rich no matter where you're starting out in life. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to break down these skills into 2 different categories. First, there's high income skills. There's 4 high income skills that you need to learn if you want to get rich. Then there's the foundational disciplines. There's 4 categories there where you need to have this skill set. It's kind of like the foundation of a house. In order to have those high income skills and build up and up and up, you need to have the foundation in place with these additional 4 skills so that you can dominate in business and in life every single day, because consistency is what's going to get you rich and keep you rich. All right, so the first high income skill is copywriting. Copywriting is turning words into money. It's salesmanship in print. And the reason why you need to know copywriting first and foremost out of everything else is that it really is the foundation of sales and speaking and even leadership that I'm going to share with you in a second. When you are able to do copywriting, which is able to take words and persuade other people, you're going to be able to do that in every single email that you write, on every sales page you put together, every YouTube script that you write, every sales presentation or PowerPoint that you put together. It all starts with copywriting. And copywriting is an easily learnable skill that anyone can develop. So for example, my friend Jason Capital came to me at 19 years old. He was a broke college student. He won a scholarship to an event called Yannick Silver's Underground Online Marketing Seminar back in 2009. So there I was at a lunch and Jason came in, he talked about his business because that was part of the scholarship. And I pulled him aside after. I said, "Kid, I love your energy. What's your business?" He goes, "Well, I sell basketball training programs to people online." I go, "Okay, cool. Let me tell you exactly how to make money. You're going to specialize in copywriting. And when you know how to sell your programs through the written word, through emails, then you're going to take those emails and you're going to give them to people called affiliates. Now, affiliates are people in your industry who will make money selling your program for you, and you will get the customer." Now, I've told that to so many people. But Jason was like a mad dog. He latched onto that and he went and made $20,000. Remember, he was living in his mom's basement. He was broke and he made $20,000 in the next 30 days. And he's gone on to sell over $75 million worth of products and services, all because he developed the skill of copyright. In fact, what most people don't know is that Jason has disappeared from the internet. He found an offer. He created an offer through copywriting and is now the #1 selling product on ClickBank in a completely different industry that he did. He did dating, he did basketball education, he did online marketing, and now he's completely out of those things. He doesn't make any videos on the internet. He's loving life, just doing copywriting, living on the beach in Puerto Rico and making millions. So absolutely powerful when you have copywriting. But you're just thinking, like, I don't sell dating stuff. I don't sell, basketball stuff. How is copywriting going to help me? Listen, if you want to raise money for your kids' sports teams, sending the right email to the right person with the right tonality, the right subject line that gets their attention and curiosity, it's going to be a game changer compared to sending corporate-y sounding or, long words and like unreadable stuff. Even when you want to send a love note, when you want to write a Twitter bio or Twitter post, or even something when you want to use Tinder, that's the thing I was thinking of. If you want to set up your bio on Tinder, you want to write a message to somebody, if you know copywriting, you're going to be far better than all the other men or women out there trying to get the attention of other people. Copywriting is powerful. You're going to use it in every facet of life. And the more you know about copywriting, the richer you will get. That leads me into our second skill, which is selling. So face-to-face, nose-to-nose, toes-to-toe selling. Now, this can also be done from the stage, one-to-many. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But if you can get good at selling face-to-face, nose-to-nose, toes-to-toes, that is the hardest skill of all. So I want you to learn copywriting first so that you know how to use your words properly and know how to understand the person across from you and understand how to deal with their objections. I believe that copywriting is key. But when you know how to do that face-to-face, nose-to-nose selling, well, now you've built up the skill set of handling rejection, of overcoming objections, of putting yourself in the prospect's shoes. And so selling is powerful. In fact, if I could go back in time, in a time machine and go back to my younger self who absolutely hated the idea of selling to people, I would force myself, even if I had to tie myself up, I'd be like, you got to learn how to sell face to face because it will build your confidence. It would have taken me from that introverted kid who, used binge drinking to talk to people and helped me develop the confidence to talk to people without it. It took me years and years and years to develop that, but I would have developed so much faster if I had done door-to-door sales or even sales in any type of retail environment. So learning how to sell is your ticket to getting rich. I have a friend, a guy named Alex Smith. He's actually hired me for coaching. He runs a solar sales team, 9 figures, and he has 25-year-olds out there making $1 million a year, knocking on doors, selling solar. I have another friend of mine, a guy named Mo Falah, who's sold his solar business and is now helping people sell life insurance from their home on Zoom, making tons of money every single day. Selling is the highest income skill. I put copywriting first because, again, I believe that a mastery of words and wordsmithing will help you when you get onto your calls, or when you do your door knocking, or when you're selling at the local farmer's market, or whatever it is that you do. But learning how to sell, or selling on the gym floor if you're a personal trainer, learning how to sell, oh my goodness, it will set you free. And I learned this from my mentor and one of my clients, a guy named Bedros Keuilian. Bedros learned how to sell in the gym as a personal trainer. He learned how to have empathy. Well, actually didn't learn how to have empathy. He's kind of factory installed with empathy, which is very, very important for a salesperson, because you have to understand what the other person is going through. You have to understand how they're feeling. You have to understand what their real problems are, what their real motivation and desires are, and what their true objections are. When they say they need to think about it, that's not the real objection. There's something else that they're not telling you. And you have to be able, through your words and conversation and asking the right questions, and through listening, to identify these things, what the real problem and objection is. So man, it's such a game of psychology and absolutely awesome. You know, learning from Bedros Keuilian, learning from Grant Cardone, the Sell or Be Sold book is absolutely fantastic. Learning from Jeremy Lee Minor, learning from Chet Holmes with The Ultimate Sales Machine. Man, there's so many great books on sales, but don't just learn. Make sure that you are out there practicing the art of sales every single day. And when you do a sales call, make sure that you debrief on each one. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Why did I close the sale? Why didn't I close the sale? And making sure that you accumulate that knowledge and build your skills over time. And making sure to get an expert mentor in there who can accelerate your progress. The third skill is selling from stage, which is speaking. Now, stage can include YouTube videos, it can include talking head videos online, it can include, being in front of a room of 100 or 1,000 people, or it can mean talking to a real estate client in a home. But being able to speak well and persuade people and change your tonality and your pitch and your pace and your tone, that is a learnable skill. When I made my first video on YouTube in 2007, I talked like a robot. I hated doing it. I wasn't very good. I had no energy, and people made fun of me. But eventually, over time, I built the skill. What I did was weird. I went and watched two types of people on YouTube. I watched pastors and I watched comedians. So filthy comedians and pastors. What do they have in common? Well, they all command an audience. They hold them on the edge of their seats. They make them laugh. They make them cry. They're great speakers. And so I started watching those people. And I started watching great speakers in my industry like Brendon Burchard and Ed Mylett, two of the best motivational speakers ranked by USA Today. And Bo Eason is an amazing speaking coach. And I watched them, and I got coaching from a guy named Joel Weldon. And I watched my friend Shanda Sumpter, who's an amazing speaker as well. And I learned from them just by watching. And you can do that too. You can watch a million TED Talks. There's so many good ones that will show you how to command control of an audience. Because when you do, you tap into that emotion, because people really buy on emotion. They buy on emotion when you use your words in copywriting to, develop emotion in them. They buy on emotion when you're sitting there face to face, nose to nose, and you see something that lights them up, or you see something that makes them really angry, and you start talking more about that. And when you're on stage and you develop emotion, everybody's been at a motivational seminar, I'm sure, that's watching this video, and you felt like so pumped up because the speaker knew how to motivate you and inspire you through emotion. And Sharran Srivatsaa, I have him at all my masterminds in California because he comes in, he's so full of energy, and that transfer of energy and enthusiasm is often what makes the sale. So make sure that you study my friend Sharran on Instagram. He's always popping out great clips. And then finally, the fourth high income skill is leadership. And Shanda Sumpter is an amazing leader. She has a multi-8-figure business. She works from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. She takes a week off every month, and she is one of the greatest inspirations and leaders to female business owners in the country of America. And her leadership comes down, she receives information. She's one of the most open people to learning, which is a game changer. Because if you're closed off, you're never going to be a great leader. You must be open to feedback from your team, feedback from your customers, and feedback from the universe, and feedback from experts. And then you go and you take that feedback and you assemble yourself into a better leader. One who listens, one who's positive, one who is clear and shows the path to everybody on the team, and one who's in constant communication and provides an environment in which you can flourish. And when you do that for your team, now all of a sudden you have leverage. Steve Jobs had a great quote. He said, "We don't hire great people and tell them what to do. No, we hire great people so they tell us what to do." And if you're a great leader, you surround yourself with really, really smart people who show you what to do in your business, and you use the leverage of their expertise, and the next thing you know, your business explodes and makes so much more money. And that's how you get rich. So those 4 high income skills, that's how you stack the money in your business: copywriting, sales, speaking, and leadership. But down below that, underneath, you need the foundational skills. And that's what we're going to go into next. All right, so the first foundational skill is productivity. You need to be like Russell Brunson, who took my perfect day formula, millionaire morning routine, and he became more productive. He even said on a podcast, thanks to Craig's work, I get an 8-hour workday done in just 2 hours. So he tripled his productivity. And that was right when he was starting to build ClickFunnels, because Russell already had copywriting, selling, speaking, and leadership. But he needed to be more productive and get more done. And that was the leverage point that allowed him to grow. So you must be more productive. And the best thing you can do is buy my courses, study my books, watch all my YouTube videos, because I am the productivity master and will help you get more done. Next, you need to have discipline. Discipline and productivity are two different things, because you can be disciplined but unproductive. For example, if you think that discipline is working out twice a day, reading 20 pages, doing cold plunges, all this stuff, but your biggest problem in life is that you are not writing your book or not writing a sales script, well, you're off here doing all this stuff. You're very busy in hard activities, but you're not disciplined on what matters in your life. Very much like if you're out there training for a triathlon, but your marriage is broken and you're ignoring it, well, you're not disciplined on what really matters in life, even though you're disciplined enough to exercise for 15 hours a week. They're not aligned. So you must be disciplined in the way that you are putting a level 10 effort into your level 10 problems. That's the definition of discipline. It's not just doing hard things. You can do a million hard things and not get ahead in life. You can cold plunge and sprint and lift weights and all this stuff. But if you're broke as a joke and you want to be a millionaire, those things are not going to make you rich. Instead, putting a level 10 effort, learning sales and marketing, that's what's going to be the discipline that you need. One of my clients, a woman named Isabel Price, is one of the most disciplined people I know, because she runs a multi-million-dollar business in 5 hours a day and homeschools her kids and spends time in her church group and is very fit and inspires hundreds of thousands of women through her business. And she is just living the life that God put here to live. She's put every single time she has a problem, she puts a level 10 effort into it. And that's it. And she doesn't do cold plunges and all the fancy stuff that Instagrammers are doing, but she's much happier and much more successful because she knows what matters and puts a level 10 effort into it. So that's a simple fix that you probably need to make. Don't chase somebody else's definition of discipline. Instead, find out what matters to you and focus on it. The third foundational skill that you need is to be coachable. This is a skill set that you must develop. Earlier, I mentioned that Shanda was great at receiving information. She's one of the most coachable people I've ever met. She was a coaching client of mine. I've been in masterminds with her. She just received information unlike anybody else, which allowed her to become a great leader and great sales and great at speaking and growing this massive business and living the life of her dreams. If you're very disciplined, you're willing to work hard, you're very productive, you work on copywriting and sales, but you're not coachable, which means when somebody gives you feedback, you go, no, you're wrong, I'm right. You won't get ahead. You need to be coachable from your team members because you need to be open to feedback. You need to be coachable from your mentor who's going to tell you what to do and course correct. But if you push that away because your ego is too big and you're not coachable, the foundation is going to crumble and all those high income skills you have won't be as effective as they should be. So learn how to be coachable. There's a guy named Robbie Blanchard who joined our mastermind in 2014, over 10 years ago. He's just a CrossFit owner. And he came and he's like, man, I don't know anything about online marketing, but I want to do it. He was one of the most coachable clients that Bedros and I ever had. And today he has a $20 million business. Unbelievable. Because all he does is he goes out and asks for information, receives it, and modifies and course corrects. And he's grown because he was coachable. Absolutely awesome. Now, finally, the last foundational skill that you need is to be relentless. My client Joel Marion came to me as a broke high school teacher in 2009. He is the most relentless entrepreneur I've ever met in my life. This guy will stay up for 48 or 72 hours in a row to solve a problem in his business. He just worked so hard. And then he built the skill of copywriting. He became relentless at learning that skill. And he went on to build a $100 million business selling supplements. And then he sold it for millions and millions of dollars. And he just would never let anything stop him. And so if you want to become relentless, I highly recommend the book called Relentless by Tim Grover. It really helped me get through some tough times in my business. Joel's interviewed Tim Grover, who's the author of it. They're really good friends. And, they connected so well because Tim recognized that Joel, super relentless. Just like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, the relentless superstars that Tim trained in the NBA. And they just hit it off because, as the cliche goes, real recognizes real, and relentless recognizes relentless. So when you have those four foundational skills, you're productive, you're disciplined, which is different, and you are coachable, which you have to be, and you're relentless and resilient, you are going to have the foundation, a strong foundation that you can stack copywriting, selling, speaking, and leadership on top of. And that's like the $10 million foundation, maybe even $100 million, maybe even $1 billion foundation. But you need those 8 skills in place. And when you have them, oh man, you are going to get rich. This is Craig Ballantyne from Early to Rise Radio. I really enjoyed doing this. If you want to learn more about copywriting, which is my favorite skill and the foundational high income skill, then just drop the word copywriting down below and we'll send you a free resource to get you started on making more money.